A very good evening to you all. Thank you for watching Uganda Broadcasting Corporation Television, UBC TV. With me, Wadulo Mark Arnold, giving you the news tonight, this 9th day of December 2020. And without further ado, these are tonight's top stories. And in our headlines tonight, censure process for Minister Namuganza begins. And we will have media houses advised to take care of persons living with disabilities in our bulletin tonight. Plans are underway for the automated driving license issuance. And then Uganda to take part in Arsenal Africa Convention in Rwanda. Thank you for joining us. We now give you the first story. The Ministry of Information, Communication, Technology and National Guidance has laid out strategies aimed at ensuring inclusion of people with disabilities to benefit from programs that are broadcast. This was revealed by the Executive Director, Uganda Media Center, Ofono Opondo, who represented the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Amina Zawede, at the launch of guidelines for enabling visual access for persons with disabilities.
Uganda accommodates over 50 television stations and 309 licensed radio stations. However, most of these broadcast houses are dominated to serve people without impairment, leaving those with a disability in ignorance. While addressing broadcasters from various media houses, the Executive Director, Uganda Media Center, reiterated efforts of the Ministry of ICT to ensure inclusion of people with disabilities in all broadcast programs.
The meeting with UN Counterterrorism Center, which has found money for crisis communication. So the question of funding interpreters for at least the major platforms should be a thing of the past, going to be resolved soon.
Opondo says people with disabilities equally deserve to be informed irrespective of their disability.
And I think today the regulation is part of the process of that fulfillment of communication. All media houses will now be required to have interpreters for the different segments of persons with disability.
So dear broadcasters who are here, like I'm going to inform you at some point, we will jointly come and see to what extent you are implementing the act. And like Mr. Kagwa was saying, Section 12, subsection 4 of the Act requires that all the television services are made accessible to persons with disabilities.
Information, they need education to be able to participate in society, to be able to participate in development, and also to develop themselves. So in this case, world over, there is a push to say we want inclusivity.
Broadcast managers have also been tasked to find ways of remunerating journalists as a way of motivating them to produce quality broadcasts.
But there are a number of challenges, and one of those that has been commonly highlighted are where journalists complain that they are not being paid. Yes, these 2 years have been very difficult in the economy, so many broadcasters were struggling. But we also are cognizant that even the staff have families and demands. And we've been engaging the NAB executive to engage the members to address this issue so that the plight of everybody is addressed and we do not leave anyone disadvantaged.
Mary Namkose, Shaidat Nasako, UBC News.
Furthermore, Lubaga, or rather government, has earmarked intentions to create its own laboratory accrediting body as a way of accelerating access to quality and internationally recognized diagnostic services. The Commissioner in charge of National Health Laboratory Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Susan Nabada, says that the blueprint for the formation of the Uganda National Accreditation Systems, UGANAS, is in place. She was officiating at the event celebrating Lubaga Hospital accreditation by South African Accreditation Systems, SANAS.
Lubaga Hospital has been working towards rendering top-notch healthcare services, including internationally recognized laboratory results, to the public since establishment in 1899. The hospital secured an IOS accreditation certificate August this year. The hospital executive director, Dr. Julius Luimbas, says the facility now has capacity to carry out 34 tests in all categories of hematology, microbiology, clinical chemistry, immunology, and parasitology.
On average, we carry about 490,000 laboratory tests, 490,000 lab tests every year. That varies according to the season, but that's a very high volume of lab services. We refer a few tests, but after accreditation, the number of tests which are referred has actually reduced.
The Commissioner in charge of National Health Laboratory Services, Dr. Susan Nabadda, says this is a step in the right direction, especially as regards to timely and accurate diagnostic services.
Our clinicians will have confidence in our results. The patient will be receiving a quality result, and hence they will be receiving timely treatment for the patients. But when this happens, the cost of healthcare definitely goes down.
According to Dr. Nabadda, efforts to elevate other health facilities to the world-class category are on.
Some of our labs are already on these processes, and we have a number of them that have achieved, as you've heard, Star 2, Star 3, because it's a process. You can't just wake up and tomorrow you are accredited.
It was here that Dr. Nabadda revealed that government is pursuing acquisition of her own accreditation facility.
So ours is going to be called Uganda National Accreditation Services. It's a process we have started, but for sustainability purposes and to be able to have very many labs on board, we are setting up our Ugandas such that we can start accrediting our labs, and we shall have a number come on board because the costs of accrediting of one lab would have gone down.
According to plan, government intends to have at least 180 facilities accredited to do internationally recognized laboratory services by the year 2030. Dorcas Kimono, UBC TV News.
Furthermore, high illiteracy levels and suppression of information have been cited as the lead cause of corruption in Karamoja sub-region. According to the Moroto District RDC George William Opua, Moroto District Service Commission and Procurement are the corruption bleeding areas that need to be handled. This was during the commemoration of Anti-Corruption Day in Moroto under the theme Citizens Owning the War to Eliminate Corruption. More details on this report.
Government lost a lot of money through corruption in Karamoja, especially meant for schools, health facilities, markets, roads, among others. The recent one includes the construction of the Rupa Seed School, which was allegedly pinched. A 2-classroom block and desks at Nanduget Secondary School by Moroto District local government has already developed cracks.
15 in Loputu commissioned one. So when I came back, they said we did it 15. They said, okay, you gave me the list of the 15. So that I can at one time also do spot checking. It took me almost 3 months to get.
According to Moroto District RDC, George William Opua, access to information about different government projects coupled with high illiteracy levels and failure to own up government projects by residents in Karamoja is a major challenge.
Sharing information
has given you something you should own it as your own. Right from the time when you are hearing that the school or the classroom is going to be constructed, be there. Get information right from the constructor. The contractor is supposed to, the POQs, those are bills of quantities. That is his Bible for producing the work to the expected results.
Happen just like it has happened in other regions, that there is someone who is adding an institution and he is being implicated of corruption. You will find the whole region sending a delegation Save our people, our personal person. Hey, you, Mr. President, if you do not save our personal person, we will not give you the votes. We make the fight against corruption very difficult. And we are the very ones who go back to say that Uganda is corrupt. Government is not doing this. And yet, we are the ones cushioning it.
The Vice Chairperson, Karamoja Anti-Corruption Coalition, John Charles Loumo, says efforts to reduce corruption in Moroto, Napak, Nabilatuk and Nakapiripiri districts are hampered by threats.
Sometimes they are misunderstood when they see these monitors and when they talk about anti-corruption. There is a bit of fear with duty bearers that they are coming to arrest them. These guys are going to pick information and so they will cause them to be arrested.
Let people know what government is doing with budget. So my appeal is for the district councils that are mandated with the duty of oversight to monitor the excesses at district level to do their job. The sub-county councils, the same. The same for us, the members of parliament, to do our job in checking the excesses of government at ministry and central government level.
Sharing of information and driving the common man and involving them into the fight will help.
This was during commemoration of Anti-Corruption Day in Moroto Municipality, organized by Karamoja Anti-Corruption Coalition in partnership with Anti-Corruption Coalition under the theme Citizens Owning the War to Eliminate Corruption.
The Agago County North Member of Parliament, Okot Moses, has taken stand to proceed with a motion to cause censure of the Minister of State for Housing, Persis Namuganza, for faulting the Parliament Rules of Procedure. Now, this follows adopted report of the Committee of Rules, Privileges and Discipline, which recommended a censure process for the Bukono County Member of Parliament after she was found guilty of misconduct and misbehavior. Now, the notice of the motion has been seconded by Ntungamo Municipality Member of Parliament, Yona Musinguzi.
It all started on Wednesday this week when Parliament adopted a report from the Committee on Rules, Privileges and Discipline, which faulted Honourable Minister of State for Lands, Persis Namuganza, for gross misconduct and misbehavior, which was found contrary to the regulations of Parliament. Accordingly, members who were interested in proceeding with the motion were asked to go ahead. And today, the 9th December 2022, I am just here. This is the Parliament Notice Board. There is a notice of motion which was introduced by Agago North County Member of Parliament, who is none other than Okot John Amos.
MP Okot Amos says this initiative is in line with the Constitution of Uganda and has been seconded by Ntungamo Municipality Member of Parliament, Yona Musinguzi.
That I am going to defend the Parliament, the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, and also to uphold all the governing principles that warrant a leader. So there is code of conducts for leadership.
The report of the Committee on Rules, Privileges and Discipline states that Minister Namuganza belittled public trust and confidence in the integrity of the presiding officers of Parliament.
And if you are a member of Parliament, whether you are a minister, you say that the Speaker or Deputy Speaker does not know how to conduct business, which means all the budget were passed, all the laws were passed. You are telling the country that they are null and void. You deserve to sit in that organization called Parliament and earn salary.
So once members see that there is some sort of arrogance on the person who is a candidate for censure, sometimes that can put the candidate in danger. So we are waiting to see what will happen this time. But like you put it, most often censure motions here have failed.
Although the notice of motion calls for signatories of at least 1/3 of MPs, which is an estimate of about 200 members of 11th Parliament, MP Okot says he will not mobilize for participants.
If they don't collect signatures to the required number, so let it be. It doesn't hurt, doesn't do anything. That's why they want you to put a notice. And you also give the ground. Then somebody goes, read through, and then from there, move. We are all adult.
Because you remember the recommendations of General L. Tumwine, what we recommended on the floor of Parliament, we are saying that we must look for any suitable punishment against him. And all members accepted that and it passed. But taking the papers for them to sign is different. So I don't think for Namuganza, it is also going to be easy. Because members, they say, so and so will see my name.
Minister Namuganza was on Wednesday advised to either formally apologize to members of parliament or a censure motion is proceeded with.
When you think that you are remorseful, you are consciously believe that the action to which you are being accused, you have accepted that it was an error, because we are not angels, we make mistake. You seek for forgiveness, you seek for reconciliation, and then we move.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
In other news, the Minister for Works and Transport, General Katumba Wamala, has urged Ugandan private sector to support government efforts of professionalizing transport systems. Minister Katumba was officiating at the annual Professional Drivers Conference of 2022 and disclosed government's initiatives of automating candidates' testing before granting a license.
The Minister for Works and Transport, General Katumba Wamala, has decried of drivers' explanations of narrow roads after accidents.
Seen accidents on the expressway, very wide road, well separated, even with the separator in the middle, but you find somebody even, runs in such a way that he even jumps the separator. So I think there is more than just the roads being narrow. We need to have discipline on the road. We need to have better use of the road and respect for each other on the road.
General Katumba wants private sector to back efforts aimed at professionalizing the transport system.
Is how do we get that driver, the person getting a driver's permit or driver's license, to have been well qualified? This is where the challenge still is. But we are looking and we are investigating on how we can move from qualifying people by the mere look at his face to having automated driver testing.
While officiating at the annual Professional Drivers Conference of 2022, General Katumba committed support to professionalized drivers to tap into the booming oil industry.
We cannot find professional drivers to drive trucks in the oil industry. I found that one very difficult to believe. I don't know what professionalism they want, because I didn't understand why they need to import people from outside to come and drive vehicles when we have drivers in this country who can actually, even if it means training them, they can be trained.
Uganda Professional Drivers Network speared the mobilization for qualified transport operators and is seeking for government regulatory framework to support the activism of road safety.
Trainers is also very key, because you can't talk about professional drivers without having professional driver trainers. We need to also have policies and regulations that encourage the drivers to go for training.
Traffic police is appealing to truck drivers to take cognizance of other road users during this festive season.
And even those ones who take long routes, they should not make return journeys. It's a risk. It causes crashes on the road. So people should rest well before they drive the vehicles on the road.
Among those appreciated is Monto Agil Uganda, that worked on rehabilitation of the Ishaka Katunguru Road in Rubirizi and Bushenyi, and are also proud for completion of the Northern Bypass project, among others.
We appreciate very much the award that has been given to us in recognition from all Ugandans for the services that we also have provided to all Ugandans.
This is the second Professional Drivers Conference under the theme supporting national efforts in professionalizing the road transport sector and recognizing excellence among road transport stakeholders in Uganda. Abdunashere Luwama, UBC News.
Talk about automating processes. In other news, Caritas Uganda, in partnership with the Office of the Prime Minister, have launched a 3-year project to promote block farming among refugee hosts communities and in the Bidibidi refugee settlement. Now, this initiative is aimed at promoting sustainable agriculture and skills development for self-reliance in order to address food insecurity in the settlement.
Reduction in food ration by World Food Programme has left many refugees battling poor nutrition in their homes, especially among those who have no alternative sources to fend for food. This has brought about malnutrition in the camp and conflict over food relief items.
As you have seen, our ratio is being reduced from 8 to 4.5 kgs, and the beans also to 1 kg, which is not equivalent for a human being consumption for a month.
Our children, most of them begin becoming minority because the food is not enough.
In a bid to bridge the gap, Caritas Uganda, with support of the Norwegian Embassy in Uganda, has launched a 3-year food security, nutrition and livelihood project in the Bidibidi settlement camp. The project is aimed at enhancing food and income security through skills development and food production for nutrition through smart agriculture. The project is targeting 9,000 refugees and members from host communities in Zones 2 and 4 of Bidibidi Refugee Settlement, Yumbe District. William Anyolitho is the team leader for Caritas Uganda in Yumbe.
So this particular phase, unlike the previous one, is more going to focus on the food security and nutrition component as well as skills enhancement so that we have a more sustainable food security for the refugees and also the host communities that we are working with.
The project is in accordance with the UN Sustainable Development Goals of ending poverty by improving food security through sustainable agriculture. The Assistant Settlement Commandant of Bidibidi, William Asio, says through the Office of the Prime Minister, some land has been acquired to help in the implementation of the project.
It is true, in Bidibidi, land is a big challenge. However, in a partnership with the landlords and the local leadership, the local governments, we have been able to secure a lot of land. And the land that is being secured by OPM always has a land consent form.
We request the sub-counties that are going to partner with us to continue to encourage the landlords to even give us more land. This land is not enough. We have a target to reach 4,500 acres of land. We are not even yet halfway, that we are supplementing to the government efforts.
Nonetheless, Yumbe District local government has emphasized the promotion of environmentally friendly agriculture that will help recover the depleted vegetation.
So I think the issue of planting trees at our level as a production, it also enhances it enhances food production in the.
The initiative is in the second phase of the food security, nutrition and livelihood project after the first phase that benefited about 4,500 refugees and host communities. Joseph Fodamam, UBC News in Yumbe.
Let's take a short commercial break and be back with more news tonight.
Kutusako Shimba Life ku Kampala Serena Hotel Victoria Hall Friday nga mwena December Negu Saturday nga 10 December Okuingira shinje mtwalo 15 Emeze lika abantu 8 ya milioni 3 Hate alebad kati bw'ogulanga bukyali emitwalo 10. Eno 2 days mega concert ku Sunday nga 11 Freedom City 16 December Chotera mu Kisaawe 17 December Mbarara Ajip Motel 18 December Fort Portal awo mu Buhinga Stadium connections omutwalo mu VIP ntwale 3 beautiful Sheba Swag Mama Ice Cream Queen Kama wakukonko ne nyimba zezona hit to hit kati musale wonga bukyalaba tusale ko Serena mujje n'obwana bubayira mos butekelo obwana bubasiria pizza amatuga mpuma kati event let's set in MTN.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312 206 400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We are the DPF. We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. In more news, the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabira, has stressed the need to mainstream HIV awareness at workplaces. Nankabira was speaking at the commemoration of World AIDS Day by Ministry of Energy staff.
Minister of Energy and Mineral Development Ruth Nankabira has emphasized the need by organizations to pay attention to staff living with HIV, mainly through care.
And we are employers, and we are targeting young people. So this mainstreaming is a welcome idea. And I encourage ministries not to forget to sit together and reflect on HIV/AIDS if we are to equalize.
While speaking to staff of the ministry, Nankabira advised employers to always engage their staff on how to cope with the infection.
Departments and agencies are required to mainstream HIV/AIDS in their activities.
This was at the belated HIV/AIDS commemoration by the ministry staff, a workplace awareness creation session.
If we can do this kind of engagement every year, and if we can set ourselves targets internally as the ministry, such that every year at the next celebration, we have some kind of report to say, we had these challenges on the 9th of December 2022. We are now reporting that the challenges are no more, or we've done ABCD.
Abdunasir Lubama, UBC News.
Furthermore, members of the Industrial National Coordinating Council Uganda are undertaking a campaign codenamed 16 Days of Activism against gender-based violence at the workplace. The campaigners are also reminding government to ratify ILO Convention 190 of 2019 that advocates for the elimination of violence and harassment at the workplace.
Act against abuse. Act against abuse. Act against abuse.
Industrial joins other global actors to campaign against gender-based violence and harassment.
Act against abuse. Act against abuse. Act against abuse.
The 16 days have seen various stakeholder interactions publicize laws that represent marginalized workers in Uganda.
So these workplaces have to be safer for every woman and girl, because at the end of the day, every woman and girl has a place in the community and back in our villages and back in our city that would be relevant for us to have on board.
Government of Uganda's Employment Sexual Harassment Regulations of 2012 requires an employer with more than 25 employees to adopt a written policy against sexual harassment. The 16 days of activism against gender-based violence and harassment come at a time when Uganda is in its final stages of ratifying the ILO Convention 190.
Please do not demonstrate. Okay. Government is in harmony with you. We have developed this law together. We have reached the cabinet level now. We are going to present it in January, and the government will certainly ratify, because we do not want our workers' rights abused.
The campaign will speak loud and bring out the instances and the different sexual harassment and violence cases that are on in the different factory and facilities that are on the ground at the moment.
Since 1991, this campaign is commemorated both in Uganda and around the world on an annual basis, spread between the days 25th of November and 10th of December. Wadulo Mark Arnold, UBC News. Ministry of Education and Sports has embarked on training school heads across the country on the Teachers Effectiveness and Learner Achievement System. The system is to monitor performance in government schools for effective teaching and learning for improved performance. Let's have a look.
Effectiveness and Learner Achievement System is a time-on-task performance management system that uses a smartphone with GPS and biometric features designed to monitor real-time teacher and head teacher attendance in schools.
But I am going to go ahead and identify how many of those 100 students have special needs. How many of the 100 students have special needs? Then I will go back to people, and instead of capturing learner head count, I will capture learners with special needs. Out of the 100.
The system was developed to help ministry address challenges of high absenteeism of learners, teachers, head teachers, and inadequate supervision by head teachers and school management committees.
Specifically, we are using the facial. You come in and clock in. Then when you clock in as a teacher, it's going to bring you to your interface of a teacher, and you select and you choose the lessons you're going to attend. So you go to your classes. The head teacher now comes in. How does he supervise? After teachers have clocked in, he's going to also pick the phone, clock in, and now do the supervision of time and task. So, like every day today, a head teacher moves around the school. So you find out, did this teacher teach? That's how you take roll call you're on the phone, immediately to be reflected at the head office.
During the training of teachers and head teachers from Kaliro district, many applauded the Ministry of Education and Sports for the initiative which they say will improve performance of mainly government-aided schools.
So far it is so good that now teachers can clearly follow the timetable. There is reduced time wastage. Learners are now learning in the time and on tasks.
I've seen it is going to help we teachers that it will, those ones who have been coming late, it's going to capture those late comers in such a way that a person will be able to come as early as possible, such that he can meet and be able to sign up in this teller machine.
They say the system will also ease their work since daily performance will be monitored from the ministry.
Yeah, it will help the teacher to get back to their senses and they will start loving their work. So they will perform. Those ones who have been dogging out, now time for them has come to be captured and I know they will perform very well.
The system trial began with Eastern Uganda, where mobile phones have been distributed to all beneficiary entities. Yusuf Obo compiled this report.
National Water and Sewage Corporation collects close to 40 billion Ugandan shillings monthly as revenue. Now, this was revealed at a function of rewarding partners involved in the e-water payment at the head offices in Kampala.
The Director Information and Business Solution at National Water and Sewage Corporation, Engineer Jude Moga, says that over 1 billion shillings is paid to the corporation through e-water payment monthly.
Over that period, we've sustained a collection ratio of over 95% across that period because, as we explained geographically, there are also digital options and platforms in these different areas because of our partners' capacity to be able to reach out as we're also expanding geographically.
Mwoga says new technologies and innovations have been achieved in the 12 years through e-water payment.
Because as we moved along, those that had initiated handed over the baton to the next in line and the chain has gone on and on. And we've been able to expand on the network, coming to about now 31 or so collecting partners we have, brick by brick. And I think that has enhanced our reach or our outreach to the customers.
The Senior Director Eastern Zone, Nabwengo Sarah, applauded the services offered by the partners.
Very poor customers, old women and men, who need water, who have water, and they have to pay for their bills. So there is a way we used to receive those people, and we were worried. Some of them, at the beginning, they used to remove their slippers as entering the banks. But we would like to thank you for receiving those people.
National Water and Sewage Corporation, however, pledged more services to its customers.
We have issues with people complaining about the mobile money fee. If they factor that into the cost of water, still they think it increases the price of water. And I remember we haggled with some of the mobile money service providers at the time to try and see how we could ensure that this is accommodated.
Among the partners recognized and awarded include Airtel and MTN companies, Payway, Easy Money, Centenary Bank, Bank of Africa, Stanbic Bank Uganda, and Airtel emerged to be the overall winner among all categories. Susan Nabugude compiled the story for UBC News.
MTN kutusako Shimba Life ku Kampala Serena Hotel Victoria Hall Friday nga mwena December Neku Saturday nga 10 December Okwingira shinje mtwalo 15 Emeze lika abantu 8 ya milioni 3 Hate alebadi wagulanga bujali Mtwalo 10 Eno 2 days mega concert Ku Sunday nga 11 Freedom City 16 December Chotela Mchawe 17 December Mbarara Ajip Motel 18 December Fort Portal au Mubuhinga Stadium Wonexinzo mtwalo kumu VIP mtwale 3 Beautiful Shimba Swag Mama Ice Cream Queen Kama Waku konko ni nyimba zezo na hit to hit Kati musale wunga buchala wa Tusale ko Serena Mwigeno wana bubairamos butekelo obana
bwesiria pizza amatuga mpuma
keti event legislatinze ne
MTN.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is no longer news that Ebola is with us. Please wash your hands with the soap every now and then. For the entire business community, ladies and gentlemen, let us lead by example. Let us sensitize our customers and let us be cautious. Avoid the handshaking, avoid the hugs, because it is dangerous for everyone.
If you, your loved ones, or anyone else in your community is experiencing any Ebola signs and symptoms, immediately inform the health officials in your area. You can also call 0800 100 066 or text 8500 for free to notify the health authorities. Together, we can beat Ebola. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from USAID, WHO, and UNICEF.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Get value for your money by choosing the right paint. With Global Paints, you don't just paint, but paint for generations to come. Make Global Paints a paint of choice and make your building a paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss, and high gloss. Global Paint, a reliable product.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We now take you into the world of business. Now, more than 100 women in Bushenyi district have benefited from a 5-day workshop by Enterprise Uganda. These women were trained in various business skills at the workshop that received many plaudits.
The ultimate goal of this workshop, first of all, was to address the issue of mindset change. The perspective, the way people think, the way people look at things is completely different. But they were guided, we were guided, and we have embraced the guidance, and we hope from today onwards we are going to be proactive, we are going to be positive, the attitude has changed, we are good to go.
Because they have empowered women and we can now compete with men on different occasions. Even in businesses, you find our businesses are higher than those of men, unlike the previous years. So we pledge that we are going to keep giving him support because we have peace.
I've spent here 5 days, and in the 5 days I've spent here, I've learned a lot of things. We have been thinking that it's impossible one to be a businesswoman. So now I've learned that it's very possible. I have to work hard and see that I come from one level to another level.
Now straight into sports. Ahead of the Arsenal Africa Convention due in Rwanda, Kigali next June, registration in Uganda has been launched at Katikati Restaurant in Kampala. The Arsenal Africa Convention will have soccer camp and expo with more than 20 federations expected to attend. Arsenal Africa Convention will help boost and promote Arsenal football clubs in Africa, an opportunity to develop and promote new talents through training camps and clinics. There will be more than 100 speakers, 40 football clubs from across Africa, and will boost sports tourism while acting as a networking platform.
And that's the reason as to why Rwanda has invested heavily in Arsenal, on being on the armband, and that on the sleeve, and that also goes to reaffirm that this is not only about Rwanda, it's about Africa looking into spaces where they can get visibility and where they can get return on investment. And what a smart way of us going Pan-African as a Legion of Arsenal, visiting an Arsenal base that has invested, and then learning, getting key learnings from there. You know, associating with fellow fans in one stadium, in one convention, different activities, and then come back home.
And I call upon parents who have young people who are talented, they know them. Let them come, register in this activation program that ends on Sunday. Let them bring young people aged those years, register them so that we can take them to Rwanda during this convention in June next year, and then you never know what happens. We need to give chances. Our generation should be a generation of giving chances to other people. You can imagine if I was never given a chance, I wouldn't be doing the kind of things that I'm doing. I believe each one of you were inspired by somebody and were given an opportunity by somebody. Our generation owes something to these young people who now see football everywhere so that they can also dream and their dreams come true.
News just coming in that Brazil is finally out of the World Cup after losing to Croatia 4-2 after extra time. That is as far as our World Cup updates. However, later on, Argentina will be facing Netherlands at 10 p.m. live on UBC TV. In more news tonight, Step-by-Step Boxing Promotions Worldwide has intensified preparations of its boxers ahead of the boxing and kickboxing bonanza to be hosted at Laponye Hotel Mega Standard Supermarket in Kampala. The bonanza is due on 31st December and will feature 8 boxing bouts and 5 kickboxing matchups. The highlight of these is the Charles Mulindwa versus Tanzania's Hussein Mbonde in a welterweight 10-round bout. Also on the card and highly anticipated is Uganda People's Defense Forces Abdul Sebute against Police's Medi Nsubuga in a bantamweight engagement. These are some of the highlights.
Happy and excited. Today we are here at the beach. The reason why these guys are here, I'm a sports administrator in this government. I've been in sport for many years and I know all the tricks that if you have a fight in the country, you have to prepare yourself or you have to prepare the boxers or the kickboxers. Because what I know is that we have foreign fighters that will be coming in to fight on that day of 31st at Laponye Hotel and Apartments. So it will look a shame when the foreign fighters destroy our boxers or kickboxers in this country. So they blame us, we as the organizers, that why didn't you prepare your boxers and kickboxers to give public a very good show. So the reason why I'm here is to see that at least these boxers and kickboxers, they get in shape well with their body and get ready for the fight of 31st of December.
And that brings us to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of the news tonight. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. But before we sign out, let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Media houses advised to take care of persons living with disabilities. Plans underway for automated driving license issuance. And in sports, Uganda to take part in the Arsenal Africa Convention in Rwanda. Well, thank you for being a lovely audience. Once again, stay tuned for Argentina versus Netherlands in the World Cup 2022 Qatar, live on UBC television. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. Have yourselves a lovely one.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Get yourself a Zuku TV decoder and satellite dish today at a low price of only 105,000 Ugandan shillings, and a Zuku decoder at only 60,000 Ugandan shillings, and enjoy your favorite movies, series, kids entertainment, music, local and international news, and lots more. Enjoy amazing packages like Zuku Smart, Zuku Smart Plus, Zuku Classic, Zuku Premium, and Zuku Asia. Get connected today. Zuku, life got better.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe? It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Capote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Capote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Capote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
My name is Charles Peter Maiga, the Katikiro of Buganda. It's very important to groom and nurture children into responsible citizens. But that doesn't mean that we've got to beat them up, got to hurt them. I think we need to groom our children into people who have self-worth. That will enable us to have citizens who will be responsible and who will also look at violence with disdain.
Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or